What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Start today off, we are doing something completely different and something that I never really do, and that is work on someone else's car and lift a car as well. One of Bobby's sisters has this 2018 Forester and she's been wanting it lifted for a while. So I went online, did a bunch of research, came across the LP Adventure Lift Kit. It's a 2-inch lift, and we're gonna be slapping that on this thing real quick. It should be fairly simple and easy. Shouldn't take up too much time. So here are the spacers for the rear struts. These are the spacers for the front struts. And then here is all the stuff for the subframe drop as well. A lot of lift kits for these things I noticed are just spacers for the struts, but to actually get it properly aligned, you need to do the subframe drop as well. So that's why we went with this kit. It was quite a bit more expensive, but you gotta pay to play sometimes. Let's get this thing up in the air. Should take about an hour or two maybe, and we should have this thing done. First thing we're gonna work on is the front. So all we have to do is pull off the wheels, 2 lower strut bolts, 3 top hat bolts, ABS line, brake line, pull the strut off and get that spacer bolted on. The front is very straightforward, literally just the strut spacer itself. The rear does include the subframe drop though as well, so it's gonna take a little bit longer. So we got the front spacers on. There is a specific orientation that these spacers have to go. So when you install them back on the car, this little notch right here has to face toward the engine. I know on the instruction sheet, it looks like it's facing out, but I actually just called LP Adventure. They said face it toward the engine, it'll be good. All right, front's all finished up, took about 30 minutes. Let's move on to the rear. Almost the same concept, pull off the wheels. There's gonna be a lower strut mount, 1 bolt on here, 2 nuts on the top for the top hat. And then like we talked about earlier, we're gonna have to drop the subframe down. There's spacers that go in between the subframe and the body with this lift kit. So that's gonna be a little bit extra work, but let's get her started. The rear strut spacers are on. Let's move on to the subframe drop kit. This is probably gonna be the most complicated part, but still should be pretty easy. So we need to remove these bolts right here for the brake line. Looks like these gas tank covers have to pop off. A few bolts up there for the subframe support bracket on each side. And then there are 4 main subframe bolts. One there, there, and over there. So we have all of the subframe drop spacers in. There are some other spacers for all the other brackets. Like this guy right here requires a spacer and then a few other little things as well. But we're pretty much finished up. Need to add on those brake line extender brackets and this thing should be ready for some new wheels and tires. Definitely needs some bigger tires on it. Jeez. Dope. I wish I could see this thing with some proper wheels and tires on it, but I think the stuff she ordered was from Les Schwab and they're not in yet. Fun little project. Dope. If you guys want to do this exact lift on your Forester, I'll have a link down below. It was like $700. So it's a little bit on the more expensive side, but everything went very smooth. It took like 2 hours and we're all finished up. I'm gonna try to get Bobby over here. We really need to diagnose Bobby's misfire issue some more. You curbed a wheel already?
Yeah.
Brother.
Oh my God. No, I do have to tell you a story. I was backing out of the driveway today and there's a layer of gravel, but the way it sounded like I curbed the wheel. And I thought this was the curb. I literally thought I curbed it right here.
Could you imagine? You'd be dickered.
I'd be dead.
Okay, so we're in Bobby's car and I actually got this tip from a few of you guys. I don't run Access Sports on any of the Evos. Access Sports is more like a Subie thing, you know what I'm saying? And a few of you guys said, check cylinder roughness. Didn't even know that was a thing on Access Sports. So that's what we're gonna do. And if any of the cylinders are like abnormally rough, we're gonna swap around some coil packs. I'm pretty sure it's a coil. I don't think it would be an injector. I don't think it would be anything else. I know it's just like one cylinder that's...
I think it's coil pack.
I feel it. All right, we got it all set up. Cylinder 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's go drive, see what's going on. Okay, so cylinder 3 had 21 counts of roughness. Cylinder 4 had 8. So we're gonna swap coil from cylinder 3 to cylinder 1, see if the issue follows. Got it?
Got it.
Go cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna swap these two boys. And it better go to cylinder 1. We might have two like iffy coils, or two issues, or two things going on because cylinder 4. Still have the issue on cylinder 3 and cylinder 4. Check engine light is now on for a misfire. Coils did not change anything. It should have followed to cylinder 1 if it was the coil issue. So now we're gonna swap injectors 3 and 1, flip flop those bad boys. And if that ain't the problem, and then Bobby will buy an Evo.
I'll have to go back to an Evo, boys. I'm over the Subaru life already.
You're so gay. Injectors are a bit of a bitch, kinda, compared to, well, number 1, anything fuel related is not fun. Number 2, they're a little bit harder to get to versus the coils. So let's swap these things. Off. We got a fatty leak. She's a squirter. So we swapped injectors, did not change anything. The coils, of course, didn't change anything. She's got new plugs in her. It's a high RPM misfire, so I don't think it's like an actual motor issue. What I started digging into, but Bobby had to leave and go do other things, is electrical issues. Started trying to check out all the grounds, clean all the grounds, and then we ran out of time. So I just have a feeling it's like some sort of grounding issue.